All right, here I am at the Lansing Road railroad crossing in Durand, Michigan. Now this railroad crossing right here is another rather neat one owned by the Huron Eastern Saginaw subdivision, and the Huron Eastern Saginaw Sub is pretty much a short line railroad that goes from Saginaw and it continues its way down towards Durand, towards the, I wouldn't say the GLC tracks, but it kind of runs its own tracks throughout multiple places, like it splits off in Vassar and all that good stuff. But either way, I haven't toured a crossing on the short line in quite a long time, and I just got this one in action today, and I thought I had some pretty neat stuff, so I guess why not tour it? So I guess with that said, for now, I'll explain as I go on. So with that said, let's get to it. So for the first signal, this has a Western Colin Hayes base with the Federal Signal back clamp. So I believe this is just a Western Federal Signal base. So, and here's the emergency information. The dot tag and the dot number is 283079G. And for the lights on this one, this has 3 pairs of Western Colin Hayes 12 by 20 inch GE uniform LEDs with the flat back light heads. And these are all sitting on Western Colin Hayes light brackets. Now these recently replaced some 8-inch lights of some sort in the past. As you can see, most likely Western Colin Hayes 8-inch lights. And for a bell, this has a Western Colin Hayes mechanical bell, first generation, I believe, because, you know, it has that, you know, WRS kind of sound to it. And it's kind of a cool sounding bell too. And I just got an action, and since I guess with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and shake the signal real quick to show you all what it sounds like. So you can kind of hear it. It's a little wobbly, so I'm not going to shake it harder than this. So, yep, that's the first signal. And if you look down there, there's G.C.R 701 that just got done passing here. So, yeah, I guess that said, let's go ahead and wait for this truck and cross the road. And as you can see, the crossing grade here is quite in bad shape. They haven't repaved this in a long time. So, yeah, that's that for you. So here's the second signal. So for the second signal, which is not similar to the first, this one has a WRS clamp-on style base, as you can see. And here's the emergency information once again. And for the lights, this has 2 more pairs of Western Colin Hayes 12 by 20 inch GE uniform LEDs sitting on a Western Colin Hayes light bracket once again. See, that's a GE uniform look. These are actually really low. I can touch them. And for a bell, this has a Satran mechanical bell, 70s generation. You can see the Louisville, Kentucky logo on it. And this is a pretty short mast, and I might be able to shake this one to make the bell sound. So let me go ahead and shake it real quick so you guys can hear it. Yep, there it is. Hold it back a little bit. And if you look up here, there's an old Grand Trunk Western dot tag. So, yep, since this line has been owned by Grand Trunk Western in the past before it was bought out by G.C.R. So that right there was the rather simple yet gateless crossing, which is surprising because this crossing is completely gateless, but this road is like a 50-mile-an-hour busy road, so it's kind of a surprise. They really need to put gates here eventually, in my honest opinion. So this was the Lansing Road crossing in Durand. Here's the relay case. As you can see, it's a WRS relay case. So I guess with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the track view. So down there is heading south towards a couple more crossings at Monroe Street and Durand Road. You can see there's a pair of searchlight signals right here, which will eventually direct you towards the G.C.R Durand yard. And down there is heading north towards, I guess, more crossings, you know, what was I going to say? Crossboat crossing at Bennington Road, I would say. I think that's the next one from here. You can see that these tracks are not exactly in the best shape, but, you know, that's class 2s or in short lines for you. And it's kind of a beautiful scenery. You can see how, you know, the banks kind of split off into 2, and there's a big open field over there. And if you look down there, you could still see G.C.R 701 still making its way back up north to Bay City. And yes, that way does eventually take you to Bay City and Saginaw. So I guess with that said, this was the Lansing Road railroad crossing here in Durand, Michigan. Pretty neat stuff, I have to say, once again. I had to get this in action soon, even though I just did. So I guess with all that said, over and out.